Hi friends, it's Jade from Sweet Softies here. Today I'm going to talk about yarn weight and hook sizes pertaining to amigurumi. So if you are an amigurumi addict like I am, and you're wondering which hook size to use for the various yarn weights that you might have, then this is the video for you. Now I do want to note first of all that everyone's tension and gauge is likely different. Hook size depends a lot on how tightly or how loosely you crochet. So if you crochet on the loose end, for example, you'll want to use a smaller hook, and if you crochet tightly, you might want to use a slightly larger hook. So my guidelines are going to be kind of rough in that you'll want to see what works best for your own tension. Anyhow, I hope this will serve as a nice little guideline for those of you who are wondering. But this came about because I recently made a tutorial on these cute little Octobuddies, and in my tutorial I made the Octobuddy using bulky weight 5 yarn, but I also suggested that you can make them using really any weight yarn. Here's the same pattern using light number 3 yarn, and this is also the same pattern, but I think this is Bernat velvet, so it's also bulky weight 5 yarn. And it's really interesting because with these different yarn weights, using the same pattern but a different hook size, you can come out with a lot of varying sizes for your amigurumi. As you can see, these two look super different size-wise. So I'm going to go ahead and share a bit about that now. First of all, if you're buying new yarn, there's always going to be a recommended hook size on the label. Now, this recommended hook size is for like crochet projects in general, I'd say, and it's not for amigurumi. So if you're crocheting amigurumi, one of the very important factors is that you want to make sure your stitches are tight enough so that stuffing doesn't show in between the stitches. You don't want any gaps showing. It's not only going to have stuffing fall out, your amigurumi won't last as long, and it doesn't look quite as nice with gaps. So in each of my amigurumis here, you'll notice that they're crocheted tightly enough so that there are no gaps. So you might wonder, well, which hook size should I use for these different weights? Because you might want to make a jumbo amigurumi using super bulky yarn like this weight 6 Bernat blanket yarn, or you might want to use lightweight yarn like this. This is Kabu from Lion Brand Yarn, and it's a light weight 3 yarn. It's going to take some trial and error depending on your attention, of course, but in general, I use small hooks, much smaller hook sizes than what's called for on the labels of these yarns, and I also use smaller hooks for thinner yarns and larger hooks for bulkier yarns. Now my go-to is using medium weight 4 yarn for my amigurumis. I just love it because I find a lot of medium weight yarns in a variety of colors, and I don't like working with yarn that's too thin and hooks that are too small. It drives my eyes crazy. So I often use medium weight yarns like Karen Simply Soft, for instance, and my go-to hook is a 2.75 millimeter hook. Now, medium weight yarn isn't created equal. Some yarns are thicker and some yarns are slightly thinner. Karen Simply Soft is on the thinner end of medium weight yarns, and I have here a big twist yarn. This is on the thicker end. So with my slightly thicker medium weight yarn here, this big twist yarn, instead of using a 2.75 millimeter hook, I might go up a little bit and use a 3.25 millimeter hook. If I were crocheting the same pattern using these two medium weight yarns in slightly different hook sizes, one of them, the one with the larger hook size and thicker yarn, is going to come out larger than the thinner weight yarn and the slightly smaller hook. Now, with projects like the super bulky Bernat velvet yarn, I am using a 6mm crochet hook, which is, as you can see, quite large by contrast with the 3.25mm. And just for reference, this is something I'm working on right now using Bernat velvet. Excuse me, why do I keep saying Bernat velvet? Using Bernat blanket yarn, which is this super bulky yarn right here. And I'm using a 6mm hook, and as you can see, the stitches are relatively, they're tight enough so that you can't see the stuffing through it. And this is the goal, or this is the effect you want to achieve. So there's that. So please go ahead and check out the chart reference I have on my blog post if you'd like to see what examples of what I've used for my projects. All right, thank you so much for watching, and hope you have a wonderful time crafting. Bye now.